So David and I did several segments, many shows. When I say several, I should say several hundred, whether it was here at Mark Rogers TV or over on our incarnation of SEC Breakdown, which then became Gators Breakdown. And so David's got a special place here at Mark Rogers TV, which this is what we put together here. It's 10,000 subscribers.
There we go.
To celebrate.
Yeah. That was
thanks so much for taking part, Dave.
Yeah.
You certainly have a big hand in this, so thank you so much. It was great that you were able to stop by tonight.
Absolutely. Got home a little late, but I was going to try and jump on here. So yeah, big doing big time things, Mark, and of course, it's well deserved. From all everybody that you get to come on and talk college football, and like you said, I don't even know how many years ago it was when we started, because it was first just me and you. You reached out to me on Twitter, and I had never done anything about talking Gator football except for a little bit of writing. But as far as the internet's a wonderful thing, but as far as talking Gator football, that was you were the first one to invite me to do any such thing, and it helped us both grow.
Absolutely. I'm going to guess it was like 2014, 2015, somewhere in that range. And again,
for Florida 3 coaches ago.
Yeah, you kind of ran through them. You might have stopped on one. You might have found the right guy here finally, but you cycled through a few.
Yeah.
You still have to see once a year.
Yeah, but you've been with me through some tough times of Will Muschamp and Jim Eichelwayne, so hopefully,
yes, we talked a lot of offensive line issues and quarterbacks who can't get the ball downfield and
offensive issues just in general.
Yes, absolutely.
And some wasted great defenses.
Absolutely. Boy, I really thought that 2012 team was something else to go through the schedule that they did and come within just a couple scores in an ugly game against Georgia, in which they dominated statistically, of maybe playing in a championship game that they didn't necessarily deserve offensively, but still it could have happened.
Yeah. I mean, you go back to the final week of that season, Florida pounds Florida State, and all they needed was a USC upset of Notre Dame. Florida wouldn't have been in the SEC championship game, but probably would have been sitting pretty watching Georgia and Alabama battle it out in that great game, and they had. And it could have been a Florida-Alabama national championship game, or Georgia would have upset Alabama. Could have been a rematch of Florida and Georgia. If it would have turned out that way, you would have had a 2011 SEC versus SEC matchup and a 2012 SEC versus SEC matchup. But wasn't meant to be. Notre Dame went on to beat USC and get pounded by Alabama just a month later.
For as ugly as most of those games were to your typical football fan that wants to see 50 points on the board, I think the LSU game was like 14-6.
Yeah,
there's a lot of Mike Gillislee just pounding it out. Texas A&M, Johnny Manziel won the Heisman, but when he ran up against Florida, only scored a couple.
It was his first game.
That's right. It was his first game. Yeah, at home, and it was like a 20-14 type game.
Yeah, they come out. A&M was. Had Florida's defense stifled for that first half. It didn't let the game get away from him, and they completely shut him down in the second half. But yeah,
what a brutal schedule. They played 2 of the top teams in the West. The East was strong then. Yeah. Florida State at the end of the season, who won the ACC and won the Orange Bowl, and Florida was able to navigate that somehow. It looked ugly, and they threw like 12 touchdown passes that year, but they somehow navigated with that defense again. So, man, we'll move it up to 2019 and between now and once we get to that first week of August, you're going to do a lot of studying of this football team. You obviously have the pulse on recruiting. Has anything happened there recently to get excited about?
Not to get excited about. It's been a little bit of bad news with DeMarcus Bowman, 5-star running back from a pipeline at Lakeland for Florida, committing to Clemson, and Florida fans felt good about that commitment for a little while, but about a month ago, you kind of could read the tea leaves there. And I see the Clemson and Gator helmets are right beside each other, Mark. So maybe you saw that coming talking about this, but
it's synergy. Everything works here.
Yeah,
even when we don't intend on it.
Right. But yeah,
flows.
losing DeMarcus Bowman was a big hit there, and Florida, like I said, Florida fans really thought he was going to be in the fold coming from Lakeland. You got 3 guys from that class, from that school last year. We all remember the Lakeland 7 that Urban Meyer was able to get from the Pouncey twins and Chris Rainey, the Ahmad Black. So you really thought Florida had an advantage with the Bowman coming from Lakeland, but it wasn't meant to be. Clemson gets another 5-star, and this time a running back from the state of Florida. And it's kind of been the theme, Mark, and that's what the latest episode of Gators Breakdown has been about, is kind of following recruiting after this. And the top 2 players in the state of Florida, one from Lakeland, one from Jacksonville, 2 5-stars, are both going to Clemson. So, that kind of hurts for Florida fans.
When you talk Florida football and want to lock in on it, there it is right there. Gators Breakdown. You can catch it right here on YouTube or your favorite audio platform. Dave, a few weeks ago, I canvassed my viewers to see if there was a particular live stream that they would like to see dedicated to a particular program, a particular team each week. And a number of people have said Florida. And I was like, oh, whoa. I'm a bit overmatched there. I don't know if I can dive into the Florida Gator market here, even though I cover everyone and certainly bring you on in particular to talk Florida football. No, I'm not competing with Gators Breakdown. Let's maybe that might be like my 37th choice, but I would love to talk Florida football. I love talking any football, but just go to Gator. I told him just go to Gators Breakdown. Certainly stay here, but go to Gators Breakdown. We'll bring on Dave as much as possible, but I'm not going to try to dive into a live stream every week with Florida football. There's just no reason to do that. So you got it covered. There's no question about that.
Well, Mark, you helped, like I said, you helped me get started, and it was good times with SEC Breakdown with Chad and Mike, and kind of what came from that. It was a little too hard to match up 4 or 5 people's schedules that we tried to do every week. But
oh my goodness,
Gators Breakdown was born from it, so that was the plus side of it.
Those videos are lost somewhere on your site and my site. They're about 492 pages away, but if anybody can find them, just look up SEC Breakdown either on my channel or Dave's, and you'll find some fun stuff. We had a great time. We had huge plans. We were going to do it big. We were going to conquer the world, and some good came out of it, and some great friendships. No question about that.
Absolutely. I still bring Mike on every year to talk Florida, Tennessee. So
that's right.
That's a lot of good has come from it.
All right, Dave. Thanks for stopping by. Again, like I've told a few other people, it makes the night even more special with you jumping on the line. So I'm glad you could take the time.
Thank you much, Mark, and congrats on the 10,000.
Thanks, Dave.